my dog. Dog. Oh my dog.
Oh my dog, hey!
Oh my dog, hello.
Hey,
Dog.
it's Kara.
And Holly.
We're back.
We're back.
Again, we're going to do another toy episode, which is our little itsy bitsy shortsy episode where we teach you a thing or two.
Kind of itsy bitsy. We'll try not to ramble.
We don't do very well at trying.
No guarantees.
We're either all in or we're all out, so.
But today we're going to talk about the 333 rule.
This is
It's
a
not
rule.
our rule,
No,
but it is the rule.
and we have adopted it because it is very true.
What is 333?
It's essentially the time that it takes for a dog to acclimate into your home, then bond to you, then become a member of your family, right? So a dog coming out of a rescue situation has a majority of factors against it and a lot of things that you have to understand when you're bringing a dog in.
When you adopt a dog, you adopt its entire history, which we briefly touched on in our last episode.
Yes.
The 333 rule is 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first 3 days, expect your dog,
It's gonna
your
be-
new best friend, to be a little bit overwhelmed,
Either terrified or naughty.
a little, overstimulated with its new surroundings.
Yes. I will say that typically in the first 3 days of a dog coming into my home, and this is true for foster families as well as adoptive families, I anticipate that I'm going to leave that dog alone for the most part unless it really needs my attention or seeks it out.
Yep. Just let it explore its surroundings, figure out what's what.
They might be hiding under your bed for 3 days and not eat, and that's
They
okay.
might not eat, and that's cool. Listen. A dog is going to eat when it's hungry.
That's right.
I promise you.
People are always like, oh, my dog doesn't like that kind of food. And I'm like, well, did you wait long enough? Like, if it's the
not
appropriate
eating.
food for
It's
the
gonna
dog.
starve to death. No.
It won't.
A dog is never going to starve to death.
They come
with
from
food
wolves.
provided
They
to
are
it.
meant to survive.
Right.
They'll be fine.
3 weeks in, you can expect your dog to start to settle in, kind of understand the routine of the household, the wake up times.
Perhaps the honeymoon period.
the potty times,
Yeah.
the when you're coming home times, the go to bed times. They're going to start acclimating to your natural schedule.
And you'll also start to see perhaps some of the behaviors that you didn't see immediately that will start rearing their heads, right? Like, so maybe this dog wasn't at first because they were so scared, but they become a chewer of couch legs. And that is something that you have to then address, right? But you're in for it because you've chosen to adopt a dog.
Right.
And that
And
dog
all of
likes
its
couch
history.
legs.
Right.
And it's a nervous thing, right? So, thinking about what it takes to get that dog acclimated to your lifestyle. This dog has come from a number of possible scenarios, right?
Backgrounds, yeah.
So we get, as we talked about in our last episode, we get dogs that are owner surrenders. So they were used to a series of events that happened
routine,
every day.
A person or people, other dogs.
Or they were a breeder release dog. So maybe that dog has never touched grass before.
Right.
And I always tell people who adopt puppy mill dogs or breeder release dogs from me, take this 333 rule and double it
Double down.
because it's going to take extra time.
Yep.
They have never seen anything. They don't know what it looks like for you to come through the door for the first time after you get home from work. They don't know what it looks like to go out in the yard to poop.
Right.
They're used to standing in their 4x3 kennel and pooping there.
Right.
They don't know.
They might come from a very traumatic situation
There may be
where they were
abuse. Yeah.
abused, or every time they went through a door, they got kicked in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna have problems with thresholds.
Yeah, we run into that a lot. And so a lot of times when dogs come into rescue, they don't have that time to decompress and get to understand what it's like to be in a household. But that is one reason why Holly and I started this, because of our passion and our understanding for how well foster-based rescue works.
Right. Which is different from shelter. So when I tell people, I run a rescue, I run Oh My Dog with Kara, of course. They say, well, where are you located? And I say, well,
Everywhere. Polk and Boone County.
we don't have a brick and mortar. We don't have a shelter.
For a
We're not
reason.
a shelter. We're a rescue, and we're a foster-based rescue. So, whittling it down, we're very specific in that we are a foster-based in-home rescue, which means all of the dogs that come into Oh My Dog are in a home with couches and beds and other dogs
Yes.
and other cats and small children. And, we're figuring out everything that makes them tick. And then we're finding them the best home. And frankly, sometimes, like, I don't have small children.
No?
Never
so they'll
will.
ask, like, how are they around kids?
Don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's more than you would know if you picked them out of a kennel and a lineup at a shelter.
How are they
So
with
that's
cats?
helpful.
Well, what do we always say about cats?
Does the cat like dogs?
Cats that run get chased.
That's right.
And so, foster-based rescue, we feel is the best way to pre-acclimate, I guess.
We're going to
a
knock
dog.
off some of these days on this 3-3-3 rule.
Right.
And so especially the first 3 days, depending on the dog, right? If we get like the world's most adorable Pomeranian, it's probably going to be in rescue for 3 days. So its decompression period might happen in foster, and that might be done. Or it might happen again after you adopt it. It's going to have
Right.
to decompress in your household. If we've got a black lab who, for some reason, people keep looking past, we might have it for 3 months, and so we know all of its idiosyncrasies. We could write a
Everything
biography
about
about
it.
this dog, but that's a huge benefit to you as an adopter to
Right.
be able to pick up a dog that you know whether or not it likes bacon treats,
Right.
like
Exactly.
weird things.
Yep. And by that 3-month time frame, when a dog's been with you for 3 months, you're going to see its true personality shine through. They're going to be comfortable with you. They're going to be comfortable with the environment. They're going to know the rules. They're going to know the routine.
And their new name.
Yes.
I want to say this
We
real
do
quick.
want to talk about naming for just
We did
a hot
not
minute
talk about this
because
ahead of time, but everybody
some people are
says
very put off and very uncomfortable with renaming a dog. And I'm like, listen, dogs they really don't care what you call them as long as you're consistent with it. So
Yes.
if you adopt a dog from us and Kara has named it something absolutely ridiculous, which is a 99%
it's possible.
reality,
Yeah.
feel free
to please
to
rename that.
rename it. However, we will judge you. No, I'm
We
just
will.
kidding.
I have had
But
so many people keep my stupid names though, and it gives me great
It's
joy, but
fine.
it does nothing for the dog.
name the dog whatever
So,
works with you.
for
But if you
instance-
name it Bella,
You're out.
you're on a list.
Everybody's dog is named Bella. Stop, please.
There are TikTok videos about this. With
It's
all the
not
vet
just
techs.
us.
No, it's not just
We
us.
had 3 dogs in a row that came in that were named Bella.
And I do want to say, so we've been doing this for almost a year and a half now.
And as a whole, more than a decade.
And we refuse to double dip. So
Right. We will not let you name a dog the same thing twice.
we make our foster homes come up with names that we have not had before. And we will continue this tradition until we
Forever.
cannot continue any longer.
I don't care if you name this dog
Twat Waffle for
Twat Waffle. Go ahead, because we haven't had one before. But now you can't do that again. Don't try to take my name, okay?
Yeah. It does sometimes in these group chats it's like, nope, we've had that
Like,
before.
I'd like to name him Buddy. Absolutely not. No.
We've had
Moving
that
on.
before.
Okay, well, how about Fido? No.
No, we've had that
Bella?
before.
No. Try again. And then they'll come up with a wonderful name that it is a psychology thing. So when you're scrolling through Pet Finder and you're looking for your new best friend and you're going past Bella, and then all of a sudden Waffle shows up. We didn't post the twat part on Pet Finder, but Waffle shows up. Who are you gonna click on? You're gonna click on the 16 Bellas you scrolled through first, or you're gonna click
Yes.
on Waffle?
It's very intentional. And we
Yes.
name these dogs very unique names so they stand out, so they get attention, so they are adopted. It's completely
on purpose,
psychology
and
driven.
it's true. It's true. I mean, we'll see a litter of puppies, and we let the fosters.
Oh yeah, we do groups too. So like if we have a group of puppies or if a large group comes in,
Yeah.
we will pick like a theme. Like Delilah's litter is all because
They
they
were
were born on the
May the
4th of
4th.
May 4th.
Yeah.
So they're all May the 4th be with you.
Yeah,
themed.
Star
What
Wars
is it? Star
themed.
Wars themed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know the.
Whatever.
Yeah. We had to be told that was the theme, but
That's
it is
fine.
what it is.
So yeah, feel free to rename your dog when you adopt a dog. They don't care, I promise you.
I mean, I adopted Ninja, who is like a 14-year-old pug with a short leg. Every time I take her somewhere, they're like, "Is she
She's a
okay?"
little handicap.
She's fine. Her leg is 2 inches too short. It's fine. But she's old. Who knows what the heck her name was? But
But we don't know what their name was, so
no,
we've already
even
given
if I
them
do
a
know
new
their name, like I have a
Right.
dog coming in whose name is Harry. Get out of here! I got a new name for that dog soon. But Ninja walked through the door, no clue what her name was. We started calling her Ninjeet, and she knows her name. She's ready to roll. And she will come running she'll come hobbling from across the way at Ninja. She knows. And it's funny because she's very non-ninja-like. You know when she's coming, it's noisy.
Yeah, she's not a ninja. Not even close. Well, okay. So what else about 3?
So,
I think
the 3
the
months,
theme
though-
of the story is at our volume. We are at what would be considered a low percentage return rate, but we do have returned dogs.
Yes, let's talk
And
about
they
that
are
a little bit.
returned for various reasons. They've been returned because they don't fit in. One dog was returned because she went through the trash and pulled off some cookies off the counter.
Within an
Not
hour?
going to talk about that one, okay?
Okay, fine.
Still
But it
pissed
was so
off about
stupid.
it, okay? A legitimate dog that was returned due to aggression issues. The dynamic with the resident dog had shifted.
Yeah.
Understandable. We had it assessed by a professional trainer.
Right.
They agreed the dog needed to be rehomed. It wasn't the best fit. Got it. Happy to help. However,
Most of the time,
if
it's
you
that-
call me within 3 days of adopting a dog and say,
I want to return her.
you know, she just peed on my rug or whatever.
Get out of here and get off of my phone.
Give them some time. Give them some time to acclimate to your situation, to acclimate to your home, to acclimate to... If I just picked you up and put you in a completely new environment with
You would
new people,
say,
with other new dogs.
I've had her 3
new
days,
home, new
and
yard.
she drank an entire bottle of vodka. I need her to go home. Back to you. That's what I mean. It would be a real problem.
Right.
So, understanding that these dogs are coming with luggage, and it doesn't always mean the bag we send home with you,
Right.
which is adorable.
And it's
by
not
the way.
always bad luggage. It's just...
Something to unpack and figure out.
And I think that's part of the beauty of adopting a dog, honestly, is learning about them and learning about your
What they
new
need.
friend and accepting them for who they are and working with them to improve,
Yeah.
you know, bad behavior or bad manners or potty training or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's a journey, and go on it with them
And it's
together.
so worth it.
Exactly.
So the stats of this are, Oh My Dog, based on how long we've been around, the number of dogs that we've taken in, and the number of dogs that we've had returned, which we've had one double returned, which was that one we alluded to that ate a cookie off the top of the trash. So
I don't even
we're
wanna
at
talk
a
about
two. So
You're going to
stupid.
piss me off all over again.
It's a 2.7%.
Frankly, I rescued that dog twice, is what actually happened.
It's true. Yeah, you did. And sometimes we try really, really hard, though, before I jump into these stats, we try really hard to make sure that the dogs are going to the homes that are appropriate for them. So if you apply for a dog
Well, she was a lovely woman until she wasn't.
and you don't get the dog, it's because we've had 17 other applications and we're trying our best to figure that out from what we know about the dog.
Right.
But sometimes we're humans and other humans fail us. And we put them in a place that's not the right spot. So at 2.7% return rate for Oh My Dog, I think for us, it feels like a lot to us because it's a huge deal to us when a dog comes back. but it's not horrible in that in the United States, 7 to 20% of animals from shelters are returned within 6 months of adoption, which is most frequently dogs with a return rate of 16.3%.
Which you're going to see a lot of
From
when
a
you
shelter.
see these name your own adoption price.
Yeah, this dog was free. I got it for free. Well, then
Whatever.
you don't have no buy-in.
Right. When we have a dog returned, I feel like
Personally,
I failed the dog.
It does.
With that being said, also though, if a dog is adopted and they want to return it, I'm going to ask all of those questions. Did you give it the time to adjust? Did you
Give yourself all the resources to help that dog acclimate
Right.
into your lifestyle.
do we need to have a professional assessment? Happy to do that.
Yep.
Happy to pay for that. Happy to schedule that. Bring that in.
Yep.
You know, we just want to find the best place for the dog.
Yeah. We would like to stay below 2.7% if we can.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to share just a quick personal story about, well, and I will get into this further someday if you guys don't start writing in about your heart dogs. I'll tell about my own. But this one is about who is the greatest dog I've ever owned. But when we got him, it was a true 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, and then some with him. So my boy, Mr. Bojangles, he showed up into our house.
You can find him at Paws and Pines any given day of the week.
He has his own Instagram. He is very famous.
Follow him.
Follow him. So Mr. Bojangles.
He just had a bubble party.
Yeah, he went to a foam party. I paid $15 for him to go to a foam party.
Can you adopt me?
Yeah, I could.
Fill out the paperwork. We'll give you a discount.
So he went to daycare and went to a foam party. But here's the deal. He is living his best life, and he is the king of the dog park. But he was not the king of the dog park when I first got him. We got him off of Craigslist for free. We picked him up, and we didn't know what we were getting into. He is a pit bull basset hound, and he is hard-headed. Okay, so he picked a dog in my
Pit
house.
bull. Wait a minute. Back up. Roll back.
A basset bull, a pit bull basset hound.
Pit basset. A pit. Okay. Anyway,
Basset
he is
bull.
a pit bull with really short legs.
Yes, he has a giant head. I tried to take
the
him
coolest
to.
dog ever. Honestly,
He's the light of my life. But I didn't know that when I got him. It was a nightmare. I mean, he was really difficult. And we didn't know how to integrate him into our
Where'd he come
household.
from?
I got him off Craigslist,
Oh,
picked him
that's
up in
right.
the outside the airport parking lot. These people were like, yeah, we can't get rid of him. We bred these puppies, and he is a hot mess, and he's, like, mean. So I'm like, I can fix him. And so I came in, white lady hot and ready to roll. we can do it. And it was a struggle, and I worked very hard with him on training, but when we got him, he decided that one other dog in our household was going to be his enemy, and they got into it a few times, which was scary. It was overwhelming, and I felt like every time I left the house, they got into a fight. Like, it was awful.
and so we crate and rotate.
So for 30
So
days,
if you are adopting a dog,
yes, that might have these tendencies.
crating and rotating is a normal way to acclimate dogs
In a
into
multi-dog
your
household.
environment.
Yes.
You crate one and let the other one roam free, and then you rotate.
We were on a very strict
Crate
schedule.
and rotate
And so when,
until everybody can kind of figure out, like,
and
hey,
they do. Usually.
They're
They do.
cool. I'm cool. We're all cool.
So for 30 days, I did a strict crate and rotate between Bojangles and our resident dog who decided that they were enemies. And it ended...
Grizz?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's Sassel. He ain't right. I've had him for 11 years. I'm not going to ruin
That
it now,
tracks.
right? So, but I decided that we were going to make this work. I talked to my husband. I said, we can't give either of these dogs up because they both would not do well anywhere else. We knew that we were the place for
You're
them.
dedicated to
We
them.
were dedicated to them. We
You
had made the
adopted them.
choice. We
You made
adopted
the
them.
commitment.
Yep.
You're going to follow through with it.
So for a full 30 days, we did not allow them to see each other. We did a full brand new introduction. And for after that month, they reintroduced. We knew that their trigger was that when they ran out the door to go outside to go potty, they would get too excited and then it would turn into a fight. And so we figured that out. We did that rotation. We did a full no-see rotation for 30 days. And I am here to say that Bojangles is now he's off-leash trained. I can take him anywhere and he will walk right beside me.
Mm-hmm.
He is a Paws and Pints regular. He has met every type of dog possible, and he knows when his recall is called that he comes back to mom,
Right.
and he knows what to do. And I worked my tail off to make that happen, and the fact that I did that created the very best friend that I have on this planet. Like,
Right.
he is the most incredible dog I have ever met in my life, and had I not spent the time to dedicate to making that work and figuring out what he needed to be involved in my household, who knows where he'd
I
be.
think you need to match your commitment level with
the dog you
the
choose.
dog that you're adopting.
That's true. That's true.
However far in you're willing to commit, that's how far you need to find your dog. Because there are dogs that they come from a perfectly healthy environment and they're going to do fine anywhere.
Yep.
And then there's dogs that don't come from a perfectly healthy environment and they need a little extra. And then there's the one-offs that need all of the extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're adopting, when you're thinking about
Ask a
adopting,
lot of questions.
Ask a lot of questions. Get the background. Understand what it's going to take, especially if you have resident dogs.
Do an appropriate introduction. I think opening up the door and saying, "Hey guys,
Right.
Bella's here," and then throwing. And first of all,
Which is important to talk about. So
Yeah.
how do we do introductions with new dogs?
very slowly. So, my house is filled with dogs who are used to a new dog
Yeah.
coming in every week.
Yeah,
and so
my
that's
dogs
a little
are
different.
they don't even. There's a new dog shows
But
up
if
every
you've
week and they're
had
like,
an
okay,
established
I don't
home
know
with
who the hell you are, but you're not staying here long. So
yeah, whatever. You think you're home, you're not.
except for Morty.
Stupid.
Somebody adopt this dog.
But if you've got two established dogs who aren't used to new dogs coming in, gates are your friend. You want these dogs to be able to cohabitate without
Gates and
having
crates.
gates and crates.
Gates and crates.
We got to be able to rotate. You can't expect to throw a dog into your mix and that everything's going to be okay, because while dogs are pack animals and they do thrive in a group for the most part, some dogs are solo lone wolves, but dogs are pack animals, and so we anticipate that we can throw this dog in. Well, there's a hierarchy, and so your dogs already know who's in charge, and so you throw in somebody else, and depending on their energy level, that could be a huge issue for your existing dogs. It could be a huge issue for the dog that you throw in with all their baggage.
Right. Which is what we saw with Gumbo. I mean,
Yeah.
Gumbo was with an initial foster home.
Yep.
And there was an issue with the resident dog, I
The
believe.
resident dog picked on Gumbo and
Right.
said, "I don't want you here. You got to go."
And so we transferred Gumbo to Tracy and Johnny, who we want to talk about briefly. Not briefly, actually. We want
We
to
could
talk
talk for a really long
Tracy
time.
and Johnny for an entire episode. These people, let me tell you what. If there was ever a couple
Who were meant to do this
who
together.
were meant to be and meant to do this work, and who I adore and envy and
Yeah.
hate all at the same time.
Yeah, why did
it's
it-
Tracy and Johnny, because they are so freaking perfect for each other,
They're
and they are so
adorable.
perfect for this work.
They are.
I love them and hate them all at the same time. Those two have got it. They have figured it out.
Yep.
And they have a doodle. And they have a wiener,
A ween.
Cardi B,
Cardi B the ween,
who's
which is how we
she's
knew.
my little babe.
Yes,
time I
immediately
go over
when
there.
they were like, "We've got a wiener named Cardi B." I'm like, "Well,
Okay,
you're in." Nothing else I need to know. And then they started fostering for
And they've
us.
got kids.
They have kids
and they work
and cats,
off
a cat,
shifts,
I think.
and
They have a wildlife that people would use as an excuse to give up a dog. But what are they doing?
and to not foster. But they always
Yeah.
raise their hand, and
Yeah.
they can let me look this up. They signed up with us in July of 2023.
Yes.
They took in they took in Ziggy, who was that
The dumped dog.
the dump dog in Madrid that we talked about on last episode.
Mm-hmm.
He was a handful.
Yeah.
And they rocked it from there on out.
Yeah.
They
went wild. Then they took a handful of puppies from us. So when Olivia had her puppies, we sent them off to foster homes to
they
finish.
took Malibu.
Yep. They took Malibu, who was one of the dogs that sat and didn't get adopted. She was another mama dog.
Dale. God damn it, Dale.
God damn it, Dale. They took another little Suki from the Knoxville bunch that we'll talk about on an upcoming episode. And they took
Muggsy. I'm just looking through this list here.
yeah,
They have taken
Peg
in
Bundy, who was
and they're really good at naming dogs too,
they
by
are
the way.
Peg Bundy. Come on, and she looks like a Peg Bundy. She had a cigarette in her mouth when she showed up. It was really weird.
And who was that dog that we had to take to Iowa State that night?
That was Suki.
So Tracy works the night shift, and she messaged me at like 1:00 in the morning. I remember this, and she said, "Hey, are you up?" And I'm like, "Yes,"
Always,
because
yes.
I'm a night owl and I'm opposite shift of Kara.
Yep.
So yes, of course I'm up. Anyway, and Suki was, I think she vomited blood.
She was hemorrhaging.
And I said, I'm on my way, picking her up, taking her to Iowa State. I called you. This is like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I sat at Iowa State all freaking night long.
yeah.
Which is, I love Iowa State. They're great. It's a great vet clinic. It's great emergency vet, but they need some new material in their waiting room. I'm just telling you, because it is the loneliest place in the world to sit at 3:00 in the morning. Anyway, Tracy and Johnny, troopers. They're like asking for updates. They've taken every dog that we've thrown their way, and they have held on to Gumbo for like 2 months now.
Who is one of our black dogs?
Which one of our black dogs?
For a home, and gosh darn it, that dog is just perfect.
Okay,
and
and
adorable.
Johnny, equivalent to Fur Daddy Nick Zaddy.
Yeah.
Zaddy Nick, Natasha's husband.
Yes.
He trains most of his dogs, the dogs that are capable.
Yeah.
To
Ride with the
run
bike.
on a bike.
Yeah.
So like the leash on the bike, and they run and
they
like,
love
basically-
it.
Oh my God.
And they are very great about integrating the dogs into their household in an appropriate way. So when
They introduce appropriately.
When Gumbo landed, they were like, we're not sure if she likes bigger dogs. Let's give her some time. Mm-hmm. They didn't say, nope, she doesn't like bigger dogs. She does. And it just took some time.
And
they
how
took
many
that time.
pictures did we get of Johnny laying on the floor with Malibu? Like
Yeah.
just closing in that proximity
Yep.
with her.
Trying to get her to understand that people were friends.
Amazing.
Amazing people.
I
So
love
these
them.
are the people that allow us to soften that 333 that happens when you adopt a dog from a foster-based rescue. It is still something that you need to understand that you are buying into when you adopt a dog, but thank you to our foster homes like Tracy and Johnny who yeah.
They take so much work off of an adopter.
Yeah.
They really acclimate those dogs, and I mean
They have only failed one time.
and well, dill pickle, dilly.
We got this little dog. It wasn't a little dog. It was the hugest puppy I've ever seen in my life. They're like, this puppy's 3 months old. And it was like Marmaduke.
He's gonna be so big. They have no idea what they're in for.
And he was at our house just for a couple of days. And my daughter was like, she's 16. And she was like trying to find apartments so that she could adopt this dog and like move out because she loved him so much. Like he's such
Stop
a
it.
sweet boy. And, you know, they took him, and I knew when they picked him up from my driveway that I'm like, well, they're screwed. I mean, he is so sweet, and he really loves Doodle Poodle Land. And so, but they have adopted out They've had 12 foster
Well,
dogs.
Tucker, he stands at my hip.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
But he is like so derpy. He's like
That's because he's a doodle.
he doesn't give a shit about anybody coming or going. Cardi
Yeah.
B, she's got something to say.
Yeah. Because she's a ween. Yep.
Anyway, I love them.
Yeah, they're just wonderful humans, and they allow us to do what we do.
Okay, so as when we're talking about fostering, we've got a mother, a father working opposite shifts. I think they've got at least 2 kids. I think maybe 3.
We don't really keep track of human children very well. FTC.
They
We
got
don't know
Cardi
about-
B, Tucker, and now Dilly. So they got 3 dogs, and they're fostering. So when you tell me you can't foster,
Or you tell me that you can't keep a dog because you guys work opposite schedules or that you work the night shift or whatever. It's
Nah.
like, no thanks. I know some people that are doing it way better than you. You're just not trying hard
and they
enough.
are freaking killing it.
Yeah, they're
every
amazing.
day. I do, props to them for hanging on to Gumbo for so long. I know that they're anxious to get back into the foster world.
Yeah, they'd like to say yes again to another foster and save another
Every
life.
time they're like, man, we want to get back in.
But-
we got to find a home for Gumbo.
Yeah,
So please, if you're listening to this, let's find a home for Gumbo.
yeah.
Let's
she's
get Gumbo
so beautiful.
a
She's
home.
so beautiful.
She's a wonderful
She is.
young black lab, and she just needs a home.
Mixy
so
mix of perfect proportions. She's the shiniest dog I've ever seen in my life. But
help us out.
anyway, so when you are jumping in
Yeah,
to
let's wrap
adopting
this
a
shit up.
dog, let's think a
Sorry.
little bit about what these dogs need to acclimate. And if you adopt a dog from us and you are struggling, reach out and say, hey, what should I do next? What can I do better? Not, hey, I'd like to give up.
Right.
Because when you choose to adopt a dog, you are packing up all their baggage and you're taking it with them. And that is a commitment that you're doing. And we appreciate that. We love our adopters. And for the most part, all but 2.7% are doing a really great job.
And we have resources available.
We
We
do.
are happy to connect you with a professional trainer. We are happy to send you recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kara is very well versed in training and tools to train a dog out of certain situations. We're happy to send you any supplies that you need. If
Yeah.
you need a collar, a training collar.
Yeah.
We have multiple trainers in the Des Moines area and now also in the Boone area.
We're ready to roll.
We will connect you, but we need to know that you're having issues. So
Yeah.
don't call us
in the middle of the night. Gosh, darn
telling
it.
me that you need to surrender this dog right now
Yeah, if I ever get
Please
another
don't do
call
that
that says
on my birthday.
yeah, on her birthday
When
or
I'm
at 10 p.m. after I've had a lot of
3
cocktails
sheets to the
and
wind. Like,
I'm going to shoot this dog if you don't come get it. For the love of Pete, give us a
let's not
break.
do that.
We're volunteers, okay?
right.
Okay, Cardi B,
We got lives.
we do. But we will figure it out and we'll
We
help
always
you
do.
figure it out because
We stand with you. We stand beside you. We're happy to help.
But do your research before you adopt a dog and understand what
Yep.
you're getting into, please.
Please.
Okay.
And the 333 rule is included in every adoption.
Yes, you will
It's
receive
in
a
your
copy.
packet.
Mhm.
We want to get all that information into your hands, so it's available to you
Yeah.
at all times.
Yes, and I will go ahead and link in this episode notes any more information about the 333 rule, as well as linking back to our website with some more resources available to you as well.
Absolutely. All right, we'll figure it out.
We will.
What I mean when I see, what I see, what I feel, when I